Welcome. My name's Ray McDonald. I am a founder of WolakotaMani.org, Wolakota Mani Foundation, which is a foundation that's dedicated to teaching about life, teaching about nature, and teaching about the connections between the people, and how we might be able to bring this out so more people can have a good time and not have so much suffering. I founded this nonprofit company with my good friend Bill Stover. He is our spiritual leader and helping us understand what we can do and places we can go.
Wolakota means someone who knows about life, who knows about who we are as people, and knows about journeys of life, different journeys of people. Wolakota has the answers to many things because it's connected to all life, all the kingdoms of the world, the bird kingdom, the sea kingdom, all of the fish, the insect kingdom, the animal kingdom, the tree kingdom, and the plant kingdom. All of those things have an energy source that's connected to life itself. It makes it grow, it makes it move, it makes it do the things it needs to do here upon earth. So we think about that as humankind, and when we know about the energy source itself of life, then we begin to see what our purpose is. But without knowing about that, like the other kingdoms do, they know about that, so they grow. The animals do the things they need to do. The fish do the things they need to do. All sea creatures do what they need to do. All of the insect people seem to do what they need to do. The tree people, amazing, because they're our brother and sister. They breathe out that oxygen and we breathe it in. What we breathe out, they breathe in to have life. It's a connection to all things of this universe, here, Earth. Humankind are so busy doing everything else. With a lot of it has to do with people running around working all the time, and they forgot why they're here. They forgot that we're all brothers and sisters. They forgot we all came from the same creator, our creation. They forgot those things. Life here on earth is actually very simple if we know about who we are. A lot of questions have been asked and still being asked about different things, life things. There's an answer to all of them. But finding your purpose here, why your energy source came to you, what is its goals, what is its path, how is it going to walk, what it's going to do. That's a very important thing to learn in life. Because once you learn about that, then you know about everything. You know about a lot of things that you're supposed to do. And you understand whenever negative things come to confront you, you can go around them or you can answer them and get in the struggle. Sometimes it's easier to just not say anything and just walk away from a confrontation. Sometimes you must say something because the other person doesn't know who they are. or why they're here on earth. Maybe they're here to create disruption in your life. Who knows? But I don't want anybody disrupting mine. So my path. So I don't let people disrupt my path. I do what I need to do. And I walk, people say, you walk softly upon Mother Earth because you know your purpose. I'm here to teach you the young people about life. And also I'm here to teach the old people about life. Parents, all people. Purpose of why you're here.
I'm Gabby, and we talked about how you're a medicine man and how you heal people. No, not Gabby.
Let me explain that. I don't consider myself a medicine man. I don't claim to be one. I have no medicine. The powers of a medicine man come from the other side. So they're the ones who fix things, not me. I know nothing about medicine. I have no idea how they fix people, but they do. They heal people every day. They help people in life every day. But I don't consider myself a medicine man. I have these round stones. They're perfectly round. I didn't make them. I have a number of them, a whole lot of them. They all come and they teach me about things, and they give me visions to teach people about. Young people especially, adults if possible, because they already learn the things a lot of times that they think they learned everything when they actually haven't. Parents, people sometimes have a hard time because they don't know who they are or why they're here on earth. Part of the answers you seek here today are about why you're here on earth, the things that go on in life that create disruption in your life and your life's path. All of those things can be fixed and made better so that you can become a whole person and know your destiny of life and know about the virtue of kindness, the virtue of compassion towards all races of people, because you all come from the same creation. The energy sources that are inside your body comes from that same creation. They're going to ask some questions about life, about problems that they're having, and seek answers from myself. I don't have all the answers, but I have a lot of them. All my life I've been doing things like this, trying to make this universe a better place through a gift not from this world but the other world. So I don't claim to have any power, but I will answer your question.
I'd like to explain that we had a talk yesterday in class. We talked with all of these seniors about many of the same things that Bill just mentioned, and how he got here. And it's a long story, but the students were able to come up with questions from our discussion yesterday. If a question's asked and we have not discussed it yet, we'll bring it up at that point.
Hi, I'm Diego.
Hi, Diego.
My question was, so everyone has a set purpose in their life that they need to accomplish by the end of it, but is it possible that some people can have more than one purpose?
I'm going to explain purposes of life first. to you so that you understand what life on this earth is. When the energy source that you have inside of you that creates the movement of life, when that comes into your body, you're alive, you can move. Things move. And before that energy source comes in, it knows its purpose. It knows what it's supposed to do in life. You can have many purposes. Most people do. Many different purposes. Many things that can change throughout your lifetime to make your goal of life different. It's all in what your energy source needs to learn about and experience here on earth. But we don't choose other people's paths of life. They choose their own paths of life. Their energy source directs them in those directions that they should go and experience. So, does that answer your question?
Yes.
Do you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Jason. My question is, what is your ideal version of the afterlife?
Home. When I say home, I mean that's where we all came from. This is a place where we're experiencing life here on earth. We're experiencing different things. Whenever you do something in life, you experience certain things, and you learn about those things, some negative, some positive. And when we return home, I call it home because that's where I came from. That's where my energy source came from to my body. So I look at it as where we all live at one time. We all have been together there before. You understand? And in that place, the other place where the energy sources come from, creation, God, whatever you want to call it, is a beautiful, harmonic, balanced place where there's no hate, no attacks on people, none of that is there. That's all here on this earth that we came to learn about. No, there's a lot of love, a lot of feeling of compassion towards all things. And the other world actually looks at us and sees our struggles and sees our suffering here, the hard things we go through, the things we bring upon ourselves sometimes. So the other place is a very softer, very compassionate place to actually heal our spirits that are the energy source whenever we go back there. Home, I say, home. Does that answer your question? Yes.
So why is it that we would leave home in the first place?
I asked him that same question. If everything's so beautiful, if everything's so perfect that you need nothing, you want nothing, why would you want to leave? They get bored. They know everything. They know what's going on. There's nothing exciting because they know it all. They're part of it. So their journeys back down here are to basically like take a vacation, take a trip, take a travel down to earth and climb inside a body and live a life. It seems like a long thing for us to do, but time is different on that other side. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but
That's fine.
I love that question.
That's fine. That's a great question.
Hi, my name's Humberto, and I wanted to ask you, how do you know this stuff? Like, where did your knowledge come from?
How do I know this place? A long time ago, it probably been 30 years ago, I was seeking to know what to do in life. So I went upon a mountain and I stood by myself. And I stood there all night. And I could hear things going on outside, but I couldn't see those things. So the next morning, bright and early, I was praying to the sun and to the four directions and to life itself, grandfather, the grandfathers and grandmothers, the Great Spirit, our God. I was praying about a lot of things for the people here on this earth. And some amazing things began to happen. The wind blew very hard, almost blew me off the top of the mountain. But a cloud came and stood in front of me in midair. And a horse came out of that cloud with a man on it. Amazing, had all these bright lights just shooting out all over. Its mane, its tufts, everything. And at that time, I knew there was something sacred happening. Something amazing was happening. And an old man walked out of that cloud with long white hair. Just beautiful man. Beautiful elder. And he began to talk about this world here, this earth. Different things about it that were happening here. And the sad things that were happening. And the learning processes of life that people forgot to do. And when he got done, he said, a woman's gonna come talk to you, he said, a woman. This beautiful woman came out and began to talk about the women. And she had she had jet black hair, but it was long. It went clear to the what do you call it? And all those sparkles were in there. Those energy sources going all over. And in that time, she told all the things that were happening to women, how they were being treated, how their lives were hard here on earth, all over earth. The respect that people should have had towards them has been lost or put away because of the dominance of a lot of societies. So after she got done, I really cried hard because I felt bad for the women. And then a little child walked out. And that little child began to talk about the children who were growing up here on earth. And it was very hard to listen to what that child had to say, what's happening here to all of the children, to all of the people. So I cried harder. Then the old man said, we want to know if you will help us. And I said, grandfather, I don't know how. They were all standing in this cloud, just walked right out in midair, these people. Real. I was wide awake. I wasn't hallucinating. He asked if I could help them to help the people. And I said, grandfather, I don't know how. I don't know what I can do. I never wanted to be known or famous or anything. All I want to be is a common man, I told him. He said, if you help us, we'll come and teach you about life here and about what you can do and what you can't do for people. How you can help them, the things you could do. That's one of the reasons why I'm sitting here today. Because of all of those little energy sources of light that were in their hair. Not because of the old man, because of all of those energy sources that were there. Our ancestors, the people who are on the other side. So after that time on the hill, they brought me back down, and I asked the medicine people, I said, can you interpret this for me? Because I really wanted to answer to what I should do. And the medicine people said, we can't interpret that for you. They told you they were going to teach you. So, since that time, I've been learning from them. And since that time, different things been coming. These little round stones been rolling up to me. And each of these stones is inhabited by a spirit that comes to it to teach me about what I need to do in life and how I should answer people's hard questions and different things like that. That's why I have these 2 stones in my hand. And I got some more in my pocket. Because I understand their language. I understand what they're saying, not through my ears a lot of times, but through my own spirit itself inside. That's what understands what the other side wants, what they need. So, did I answer your question? That's how I came to know these things.
My name is Maria, and you said that you believe that an energy source is the cause of movement in beings, right? I was wondering if you agree with science and if you integrate it into your beliefs, or if you don't.
I agree with science, but I also know that the real source of energy that's in your body makes your mind work. You understand what I mean? That's the source itself that makes the mind work. You understand? So when you talk about the mind sometimes can get confused. You can make it confused. You can do things that will create something negative instead of positive. Your energy source itself sometimes needs to experience something, so your mind will go into that place where you experience something that's negative. So you learn from that. You understand?
I'm Becca, and I was wondering, you said the night that you were on the hill, was that a moment of discovery, or could you say that you had kind of been on like this path your whole life?
Well, I got on this path because I was drinking a whole lot and doing a lot of bad things. And I went to a ceremony, a inipi, we call it, a sweat lodge, and I asked the Creator to take those cravings away from me, and they did instantly, and they never came back. So, but when I was 12 years old, I came upon, I was walking on a hill, and I came upon this black stone on that hill when I was 12 years old. So I picked it up and I carried it ever since. This stone, his name is Nashnila Mani, which means walks alone. A lot of times I walk alone, no matter where I go, because of this stone and its teachings. So this is the only stone I had when I stood on that hill. And there were some amazing things that happened with it, because there's a man that comes with it who walked down the hill and he talked with me and told me to go stand where I saw everything that I saw. So the first part of my life was very, very hard, very confused. My mind was confused with a lot of different things: alcohol, drugs, doing bad things, all kinds of things that were harsh and hard. It was a hard learning experience. So all of my life didn't involve around the spiritual things or the things that I see. You understand? Okay, good.
My name's Morel, and the question I would like to ask you is, what is your middle name?
Benjamin.
Thank you. That's a good one. I never asked you that, did I?
Where does the light go when someone passes? Is it reborn?
No. The energy source that's in your body whenever you leave your body, whenever it leaves your body, whenever you, or people say, well, they're dead, or they died. Where does that energy source go? Because it's not in the body anymore. The body doesn't move. The body gets cold. There's nothing there. Where does that source go? There's a progression of where it goes. Some people in life, it goes directly back to where it came from, creation. Other times, when that spirit feels like it done too many negative things, it stays here, wanders around and creates chaos in the world or in a place. Negative things are not good for our spirits that are inside of us, that energy source, because that could get stuck in between those places and cause more negative things to happen, or create a negative environment instead of a positive, loving environment. We hate to see that happen to those spirits that maybe have done something here on earth that they feel is too bad, so they don't want to go back to where all of the beautiful people are. So it's a thing where they get stuck on their own, and it's not a good place. But also, there are things that change that. The spirits from the other side can actually fix that spirit and take it back to where it's supposed to go, to that creation, that or God or heaven or whatever you want to call it. Whatever you wish to call that place. Those spirits can be fixed and taken back. But a lot of times, I'm going to speak a little bit on suicide, because I know that happens sometimes to people. Suicide, the spirit, all of a sudden, someone's mind will say, well, I'm going to take my own life. People don't realize what they do when they do that. There's a place that they get stuck in. Their spirit gets stuck because it went back before it was supposed to go home. Because each of us have our times when we're supposed to go home. Some of us can leave this room right now and we could be gone in an instant. We could go back home. Each of you have a time when you're supposed to go home. But that time is not your choice. That time is your spirit's choice of going home. So suicide is not such a good thing, because it's hard for us, for the spirits on the other side, to fix that spirit, to get it well enough to take it back. So it stays in that, it's like almost like a limbo place where it doesn't know what it needs to do. It's stuck in between. So I advise people Don't go there. Don't go try to do anything like that because of that energy source getting stuck in between worlds. And it's sad because that energy source is mad at itself because sometimes they have to wait until it was time for them to go home to begin with and then go home, which may be a number of years. So that's why it's hard to deal with those things of suicide. We all choose different things in life to do. But one thing about life is that you can't choose when you're going to go home. The doctor said I had 2 days to live. They said my heart was bad. They put in pacemakers. I said, shut those things off. I'm going to go home when I'm supposed to. So they did. And he said, you got 2 days left to live. In 2 days, you're going to be dead. I said, if that's my time, I'll go home. So that was the answer to that question that doctor was trying to tell me when I was going to die. And I said, no. I said, when I'm ready to go home, when the spirit's on the other side, say, your time is up, you'll go home. I've been here over a year now, and I'm still alive. Those 2 days went by a long time ago. But I have something that my spirit's journey needs to do before it can go home. And part of that is teaching all of you about life. Part of that is teaching you about who you are and why you're here.
Okay, so I kind of have two. So my first one is, was there ever a point in which you were doubtful about your beliefs? And my second one is, where do you think that the energy source, the otherworldly energy source, comes from, if anything?
Where it comes from? Yeah. Creation. Whether I have doubt about these things? No, I don't have no doubt. I know them to be true and real because I see the other side a lot of times. They will show me things that are amazing. And I say, wow, why? Why are you showing me all of this? What am I supposed to do with it? But most of it generates around helping others so that their bodies and their minds and their spirit itself their spirit can make all of that whole so that that body is well and can fulfill its path on this world. You understand?
I'm Sam, and my question is, can people feel their spirits or their energy? Like, can they distinguish it from a weak or strong energy source?
Yeah. When sicknesses come upon people, usually their energy source is weak. It hasn't been taken care of. It hasn't been nourished. It hasn't been I'm going to say this, that stress itself brings on much illnesses. When a person's mind is stressed, it opens doorways to sicknesses to come in to make their life hard. Sicknesses come upon people for many reasons, and when our energy source is weak, and it makes it weaker and makes it harder for us to be well again and to come back to life again. Sometimes it takes us home. We go back home when we get sick. So understanding your energy source, the thing that makes you move, is very important, because that thing can deal with the stress. It can fix it. It can make it better. You can walk this world with more compassion and love by seeing all things and understanding life itself. Okay? Anybody else? Does that answer your question? Okay.
My name's Caroline, and I want to ask about Christianity. Was Jesus the Savior?
Christianity. Jesus. Jesus was a very, very sacred man. He was a holy man. Very, very powerful man. Could heal the blind. Could heal sicknesses like that. Could bring people back to life after death. Bring their spirit back to them. Jesus had many words that he spoke to the people a long, long time ago. We call him a medicine man, or a total a healer. He could really do something that was amazing, and he amazed people. And he spoke a lot of words of compassion and love and kindness and sharing. All kinds of things he spoke of. It's all in the Bible. You read it. I believe in Jesus. I know he's there. I know he came to this earth, and I know he done some amazing things, and I know that they wrote books about his words, or the memories of his words. They wrote these books. And in those books, there's a lot of good things, very good things. But also, you have to remember that these books were written after he was gone, not during his time here. He didn't write them himself. Do we follow those books that he are written about him? Yes, a lot of people do. But a lot of people read those books and then they do the opposite of what the Ten Commandments say, or they do the opposite of what he said about loving your neighbor and all those things, turning the other cheek, all those other things. There's a lot of things that people, when they read something, they don't follow it. They don't seem to get what it says. So I'll tell you a little story. This actually happened. My mother was a Christian. She was a Catholic. She went to church every Sunday. She didn't miss one time. She totally believed in that. But she was also a traditional person. She also went to ceremonies and prayed with the people. She also encouraged us to learn about all of those things. We had to go to church. I was a little altar boy. I used to have to pour that wine in that glass for that priest, and I'd keep pouring. Make sure he got enough wine. And he'd raise the glass, but we were kids. So I learned about Christianity a long time ago. But I couldn't understand memorized prayer. I could not understand why we would say a prayer over and over and over again. And it didn't mean anything. To me, it didn't mean anything. The only way I understand prayer is now in the traditional ceremonies that we do. So Jesus was an amazing person. He was something that was beyond humankind, his spirit. He came from the Great Spirit. People say, he's the Son of God. I said, I'm the Son of God too. So are you. You're the daughter of God. Your spirit comes from that same place. We're all part of creation. We're all part of heaven. All of us. None of us are left out. We only have a few minutes left. So I hope that answers your question about Jesus. And about the other face of the world, all of the books that were written, the amazing things that they have in. A lot of those things happen. A lot of people followed those things to the letter, and it became dangerous. There are things in them that are dangerous. And that's why there's so many wars and so many things going on right now on this earth. A very hard place to live for a lot of people.
Thank you for joining us today. We hope that there's more questions. We hope there's more answers. And mostly we hope we all learn that we're connected together. And hurting one of us hurts everybody. And not just people, but the plants and the animals. And the way we treat our water and our environment, we're finding out what happens if you don't think that's as important as you are. So thank you very much. I hope we get to do more of this. You students who sat here through this, thank you so much. And please ask questions. Ask questions not just of us, but ask questions about where you're going. You guys get to choose. You get to choose what's happening. So thank you for this wonderful ceremony sort of thing. And hopefully we will see you again.